Hello there. I'm Dr. Karen Shanks, and I'd like to welcome you all and welcome to your healing life. That's why we're all here, right? Today's lesson is about how culture can get in our way of living a healing life. And let me explain. Not one of us is immune to what our culture teaches us from day one. What am I talking about? It's how our families, our doctors, and the entire healthcare system in which we learn to place our trust tells us that when we're hurt or sick, there's something fundamentally wrong with us, that we're broken and need to be fixed, that we need our hurt and our sickness and our suffering to go away and to go away fast. And while of course we want to feel better, and we want to relieve our suffering and we want to relieve one another's suffering, there's just something foundationally flawed with that way of thinking that kind of looks at things upside down. And it profoundly influences the actions that we eventually take. Because what if that hurt and sickness is important? What if it's the wisdom of our bodies? What if it's not wanting us to go back to the way we were, but wants to lead us instead in the new and better direction of real, deep, sustainable healing? What if when we hurt and are sick, our bodies are showing us, using their exquisite, nuanced language, why we hurt and are sick? So that rather than just making the hurt and sickness go away, we learn how we've gotten here. We learn what happened to us that created the seeds of how we grew to hurt and become sick, right? That our hurt and sickness are signals that we are perhaps hovering dangerously around an unsustainable equilibrium that involves many factors: our genetics, the environments around us, our daily habits, our life's traumas, and those of our ancestors and the people around us. These are signals that we must pay attention to and learn how to decode in order to heal to the depth that we desire. Wouldn't we want to know how to nourish and nurture ourselves toward a new equilibrium that makes us feel well and able to live our lives with strength and resilience to become kick-ass humans? That's the kind of healing life that I'm talking about. It's the healing life that I got to have when I decoded some of my own lifelong difficulties. One of them was with anxiety that started when I was a child. And I had to learn that I wasn't defective. I wasn't broken. That anxiety was the wisdom of a highly sensitive individual who needed to learn to honor her own needs. My anxiety wasn't wrong. What caused my anxiety was wrong. And I still get anxious. But now I see it as the wisdom of my body, and I honor it, and I listen to what it has to say. It's also the healing life that I got to have when I decoded decades of joint instability, tendon, ligament, other connective tissue injuries and tears, and severe fatigue caused by low blood pressure, which were the signals of hypermobility syndrome. And once I figured that all out and got the message of my body, I knew what to do to support and foundationally change my body so that I could function at a very high level, which I do. So rather than react to each symptom as it came along and fix it as it came along, I'm well now because I addressed it at its root. So to truly heal, we have to adopt a whole new medicine, a true medicine that lives up to the roots of its name, which are to heal, intelligence, and wisdom. We've got to follow the language of the body, painful and confusing and exhausting as it can be sometimes, towards what will heal and sustain and nourish us. So what do we need for this to be so? We need two essential things. First, we've got to learn a new story. We need a new story And then we need to learn to honor the dynamic principles of our amazing human bodies. So, what is our new story? It's one that must make us feel safe and accepted for who we are. Like, we're not broken when we're hurt and sick. We don't need our hurt and sickness silenced with the drugs and fixes that don't honor and trust the wisdom of our bodies. We need to be treated as the individuals we are at a deep root cause level that understands how our suffering is our wisdom guiding us to what we must do. And then our new story takes us to what we have to do, to the actions that we take to take care of ourselves, to heal. It's what we need. What we need is to listen, learn, and reverently tend to the dynamic principles of our human bodies. Principles that are designed to sustain us, to support all our amazing human endeavors, and to warn us when we get off track. This is what our work here is all about. So welcome. Welcome to learning to revere and trust your body. Welcome to your healing life. And I'm not going to lie, the healing life that I'm talking about takes courage. It certainly has for me. Courage just to be here. Courage to turn away from what you know doesn't work for you, even though everyone else is doing it, right? Courage to claim how unbroken and magnificent you are, even as you hurt and are sick and feel confused. It's courage to trust yourself, to know and to learn, to trust your inner wisdom and guidance about how to live your best healing life. Let me leave you with a secret that's not really a secret at all. We're all living a healing life, regardless of what we do. But what do you think happens when we consciously tend to it? And I know you know this. We totally rock it. So let's do this together. Let's rock this healing life together. Next time we're going to dive into what those dynamic principles of the human body are that are required for the deepest level of sustainable healing. So I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm so grateful that you're here.